The Berlin-Baghdad Railway, oil, and the making of German Empire is a topic with global ramifications and impact. It is also a very good illustration of globalization because of its role in connecting empires, cultures, people, trade, and also an impact on the global geopolitical strategies, along with an expansion of markets. Railways have become such an important and symbolic profitable ventures during the late 19th and 20th centuries that the expansion of railway in one country could lead to a reaction and immediate competition from others. They were considered to be a symbol of engagement and expanding relations between nations. The Berlin-Baghdad railway project was one such to be considered on a magnificent scale, and one that had huge ramifications on the Europe, Middle East, and later the world politics. Germany and Britain were shaping up to be leading world powers. There was a growing feeling in Britain and around the world that Germany was on track to become one of the world powers because of its impressive industrial and technological advancements. The increasing power of the German Empire provoked internal reactions in Britain, and they established an increasing naval presence in the seas to showcase their strength and keep German expansion in check. The primary purpose of the project was to establish trade routes between Germany and the Ottoman Empire. In 1889, a group of German industrialists and bankers, led by Deutsche Bank, secured a concession from the Ottoman government to build a railway through Anatolia. Germany wanted to establish strong ties with the Ottomans as a way to develop potentially vast new markets for exporting German industrial goods. The Berlin-Baghdad railway project was said to be the focus of the economic strategy, given the potential oil supplies in the region for which Britain stood in the way. Protection of the potential oil supplies meant that Britain needed to keep a careful watch on the development of the railway project, and this resulted in a small British shareholding in the company responsible for the construction of the railway. This became even more important after the Russians expressed an interest in joining the Northern Line, and the prevention of Russian or German control line was more important for British to claim its exclusive economic position in Mesopotamia. It would also provide the Ottomans with a chance to reclaim its territories it was losing in the Arab majority population. The discovery of oil in Mesopotamia led to an increase in competition between Germany and Great Britain. The completion of the railway project would have provided Germany with access to the suspected oil fields discovery in Mesopotamia. If the new German Empire was to gain control of the reserves in one way or another, it threatened the domination of the Royal Navy, which, like its German counterpart, was undergoing the change from coal to oil. Empires are often based upon a strategy for energy capture, and oil and was about to emerge as a significant factor in the geopolitical cost of the war. This meant the ambitious German project to construct a railway linking Berlin with Baghdad, then part of the Ottoman Empire, was a potential threat to the security of the British Empire. At first, the British were not concerned with the construction of the Berlin-Baghdad railway, as it possessed a number of trade deals with German companies, and it will also open the market of the Middle East to British goods. As Anglo-German relations soured, however, the British government saw the potential security risks. The Berlin-Baghdad railway would give Germany access and any potential alliance of Germany and the Ottoman Empire, increased exposures to vast new markets. The German army could seize the area's newly discovered oil fields, which at the time were either British controlled or untouched. German goods could compete more easily with British goods on the world market, undermining British economic dominance. The Ottomans could attempt to retake Egypt from British control, and shut down the Suez Canal, cutting off British trade. By the early 20th century, tensions with Germany had changed this outlook. If the railroad could reach Baghdad and further, it would provide the cheapest and fastest link between the Gulf, its oil, and Berlin. This was Britain's worst nightmare in the East, as it could weaken the position of India while propelling Germany into possible economic dominance over Britain. If Germany were to look east and wish to move closer to Russia, it could also have the potential to split Russia from its alliances. Germany was undergoing rapid economic, technological, industrial, and political transformations. If the Germans were to establish an alliance with the Ottomans, the connections established by the railways would also put the Germans much closer to capturing British holdings in the Suez, India, and Egypt. The project's completion would also put Germany in a much better position to link its farthest colonies and move goods and provide for its growing population. The war in the Balkans, in particular the anti-Ottoman alliances, played into British hands as it diverted attention and resources away from the construction of the railway. Some historians argue that the project was one of the causes for the outbreak of World War I, although it was not fully completed before the start of the war and was a few hundred miles short of completion. The project had a great impact on the development of relations between a few empires along with the breakdown of relations with a few others. It was also a major reason for the geopolitical shift in strategies, especially between Germany and the British Empire. This led to the adaptation of a fresh and adept foreign policy that would suit the growing changes in the energy and trade fronts and the establishment of new relations between empires. These are my resources. Overall, the Berlin-Baghdad railway project had a huge impact on the German Ottoman and their relations with Great Britain, Russia, and other major powers, which led to a shift in the balance of power. Thank you for watching.